Yo, what is up YouTube? Lee the Captain here, and in today's video, I'm going to be explaining why I decided to buy the native token of Trader Joe called Joe. And one of the major reasons why is because I think that Trader Joe is fundamentally fantastic. And no, I'm not talking about Trader Joe's the grocery store. I'm talking about Trader Joe, which I believe is one of the best decentralized finance projects out there. Trader Joe is a decentralized trading platform on the Avalanche network, and it combines decentralized exchange services with decentralized finance lending to offer leverage trading. The platform also allows users to trade, participate in yield farming, staking, and even borrowing as well. However, it doesn't end there because currently Trader Joe has a treasury that is worth nearly $50 million, and it even has a total value lock of over $120 million, which I think is insane. However, I think it's also important to keep in mind that Trader Joe currently has over 10 monthly developers, which I find very impressive. Clearly there's still a lot of activity going on Trader Joe, and something that really gets me excited about Trader Joe's future is the fact that Trader Joe is on the Avalanche network. And in my opinion, Avalanche is one of the best layer 1 blockchains out there. It's fast, it's secure, it's highly decentralized, and it's highly scalable too. And not to mention, it has extremely cheap gas fees. It's very sustainable in terms of its fees. I think that Trader Joe being on Avalanche is absolutely amazing. An amazing project on an amazing layer 1 blockchain. I mean, what more can you ask for? At least that's the way I take a look at it. Furthermore, I do believe that Trader Joe is clearly focused on the right market. And why do I say that? Because according to Grandview Research, the decentralized finance market is anticipated to be worth over $230 billion by 2030. So you got to really think about that, right? 2030, it's not even that far away at this point. We're nearing 2024. And I think that moving forward, as the decentralized finance market continues to prosper, I think so will amazing projects, much like Trader Joe, that are heavily focused on decentralized finance. I think its future could look so bright. I think they're clearly focused on the right market. And here's the thing, the way I view it is that Trader Joe's native token called Joe is providing me with such an amazing risk to reward ratio. And why do I say that? Because as of right now, Joe is down over 90% from its all-time high price. And while some people may view this negatively, I actually don't, because the way I take a look at it is that by me buying Joe right now, I am not risking to lose that much in order to potentially gain a lot in the future. And now, of course, that's not financial advice, but again, right, Joe is down over 90% from its all-time high price. However, on the contrary, do I think that it can go down over 90% in price from where it is right here, right now? I just don't really think so. I think the probability of that happening is extremely low. Not financial advice, of course, but the way I take a look at Joe is that it is much closer to a bottom than it is a top. So when I see something this amazing, yet this low in price, how can I not buy it? I think Joe is such a no-brainer pick for me. And here's the thing. When it comes to Joe, I am dollar cost averaging. I don't day trade. I don't swing trade. I don't use leverage. And I'm not like one of those goofballs out there that makes a video on Trader Joe, but then all they do is that they pull up a chart on Joe and they draw a random triangle. I don't know if they're trying to draw their grandma's G-string or thong or something like that. But then they say, oh, wow, technical analysis says you got to use leverage here. You got to short here. You got to long here. Oh, wow, you got to cash out here. They like to spew out all this type of nonsense. But personally for me, I don't bother with any of that type of stuff because, first of all, it creates a lot of unnecessary anxiety and stress. Day trading using leverage, that's very stressful. Creates a lot of anxiety, in my opinion. And no one wants that. At least that's the way I view it. And also on top of that, a lot of people that I know that do that, they get absolutely wrecked. And I don't want to get wrecked. And that's why I like to keep it simple through dollar cost averaging. And by dollar cost averaging, I am taking more of a long-term approach. I don't care what happens to the price of Joe next week, next month, and in the next 2 months. I could care less about that. What I'm focused on is the next bull run. And that's why I just dollar cost average. I'm just accumulating on a consistent basis, slowly but surely. And by dollar cost averaging, I also do think that I'm protecting myself from a lot of potential risk because let's say I'm accumulating Joe right now. Let's say I were to put $100 worth of Joe. And yeah, sure, if I buy Joe right now, the price could hypothetically go down. We never know. So let's say the price goes down 10% next week. Let's say that's the case. If that were to happen, okay, of course, it's not good for the ego. But here's the thing. If the price of Joe goes back up again, let's say it goes back up 30%, then this loss that was just incurred, we can recoup that loss, right? But if let's say someone is day trading or using leverage, and let's say they, try to long Joe, but then the price of Joe ends up going down, and then they get stop loss, they get liquidated, what happens? That's it. They can't come back from that, right? At least from that trading position, that's it. And that's why, again, right, I don't day trade or use leverage because there's a lot of risk associated with that. But with dollar cost averaging, I think that I'm protecting myself from a lot of risk. A lot of people, they want instant results, so that's why they day trade or use leverage. But in my opinion, doing a lot of that type of stuff could be extremely risky. That's why I like to keep it simple through dollar cost averaging. I think Joe is such a no-brainer pick for me. And if you want to know my price prediction for Joe during the next bull run, make sure to go ahead and click on this thumbnail right here. It's a very fantastic video, and I think you all would really love it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.